in a world crying out for a top 10 show. John Roca and Matt Nost are here to bring you the top 10. Take it away, boys. Welcome, everybody, to this week's edition of The Top 10 Show. I am John Roca.
I am Matt Nost.
Sorry to put that pause there. We were doing a couple of topic thunders in a row, so I thought I was like, wait, what am I?
I can feel you saying I'm going to jump into The Top 10. We've never done it, but,
I've never done it.
Look, if you want to amend and we start something new.
On the fly?
This thing could organically change at any moment.
That's right.
So long as we choose to do it.
That's the greatest thing about the show.
The only reason I don't see it catching on is because it would require us to remember to do it.
Every single time.
Every time now. And because it's not ingrained in the show, it'll take a while for that to stick.
It took us 2 years to remember to say our names at the beginning of the show, so
true.
We finally got that down.
And who knows how long it took to get the explanation of the show down.
Good point. Good damn point.
No idea. Whoever has gone back and re-listened to it, let us know.
Yeah, let us know.
But I don't have the slightest clue on that.
Yeah. Well, thank you, everybody, for downloading the show and listening to our show this week. This is a Patreon show. What that means is that those of you who've donated at the Boss Hog level get to pick a topic for us. And we've been trying to pick one a month so that we satisfy our top tier of patrons and letting them choose topics. So thanks to Chris Alexakos and
Chris
Matthew
Smith,
Hasso.
Matt Hasso, Clay Williams, and Joe Ibarra. They help us immeasurably every week, just doing what to them I'm sure is a small job. It's like, it doesn't take me that long to do.
Right.
I think Alexakos would have the one where it's just like, dude, I've had to hunt down people for the relist. I know what that rigmarole is like. And getting people for the Boss Hog.
Yeah.
But
Chris is ruthless. I like that about him.
For sure.
If you give him a task, Chris is going to complete it. He does not have time for pleasantries.
Even when we give him an arbitrarily quick deadline like this.
Yeah.
She's like, don't worry, I already cracked the whip. And you're like, I love it, man. I love it.
To him, it's probably like 10 emails.
Exactly.
In 30 minutes.
We get to sit up. Up high on the cliff and act as benevolent individuals. And he is now cracking the whip on shit.
He is.
Getting things accomplished.
Making sure it happens, which we appreciate very, very much.
1,000%.
Yeah.
But our thanks to all of them, because without them, we wouldn't be able to be as interactive with the Patreon people or, as engaged on social media and all those things. So our thanks to all 5 of them. We thank you so much. And to our patron that supported this for this show, David Mitchell Baker.
Yeah, thank you, David.
We got a bunch of great topics. Mm-hmm. A couple of people actually sent the exact same topic.
Yeah.
And we texted about that. And we went through a bunch of different iterations of ideas, and the one we settled on was best directorial debut.
Right.
That was one of David's suggestions. And just looking at this, I mean, this is a long list of movies that count.
Yep.
And that are worthy of this discussion. Mm-hmm. A long list. This is a hard list.
Yeah, there was a lot of choices. And Matt initially was like, should we split the atom? We talked about possibly splitting the atom. But at the end of the day, we decided that it's just smarter for us to kind of go over a generalization and then when it comes up again to do it with splitting the atom type thing.
Yeah, and plus, I think only once have we ever sent back to someone, hey, would you want to do this? Like a variation on their topic?
Right.
We try and just take it as this is how they're phrasing it. This is how we'll view it. So we didn't want to send back and be like, would you be willing to submit a list for a topic that technically you didn't pick?
Right. Right.
Yeah, we want the choice to be yours. So we're like, you know what? Let's just do this one, even though I went through a list of every movie from a first-time director.
Yeah.
Every single one.
Wow.
You can find it on Wikipedia.
Yes, you can.
And I went through every single stinking one. And I wrote down every movie that jumped out as a possibility.
Yep.
And there's like 40-something.
Yeah. There's a lot.
And there's still another 10 or 15 that I've never seen.
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
Talking about the,
Oh, right. Yeah, going way back.
I went back through the 40s. I stopped at the 40s.
You were like, I got to draw the line somewhere.
Somewhere.
Yeah.
Because silent films, no, I'm sorry. I've only seen, Unless we're talking about shorts, Buster Keaton, Charlie Chaplin type of, those type of things. I've seen a bunch of those.
Sure.
But I'd never seen Metropolis until Eric Grebner submitted it for a Thunderdome.
Thank you, Eric Grebner, for that experience.
It's a little long. A little long. It's interesting.
Sure. That's a good way to put it.
Well, yeah, it's like 2.5 hours.
It is long.
You could probably cut 40 minutes of this, 50 minutes of this.
At least.
But I've only seen it once. So
Okay.
I can't really make that claim after having... Although sometimes you can, but it's one of those of maybe I'm not catching all the subtleties of everything that he's trying to do.
Right. And maybe losing it.
Just kind of zoning out for certain chunks. No idea. So the best directorial debut, so many choices.
Oh, God. In so many different genres.
Exactly. And what am I going to honor? How am I defining this? It's like, it's how the movie holds up. It's also sometimes out of nowhere something hit me and you're like, I can't believe this is the first time you've done it. And maybe they didn't do anything else.
Yeah.
This was their one-off type of thing. Like that is impressive. Okay. Or monumental achievements within certain genres. And like, wow, you defined on some level to me part of what that genre is, and that's your first movie.
Yeah.
It's pretty impressive, especially over the last, going through that list, I'd say the last 30 years once independent films started coming up, because you start in the 40s, 50s, it's like 10 names to 15 names max every year. That's about it. And you get into 90s, 2000s, 2010s, now that's just cheaper and cheaper and cheaper to make movies. There's 27 names a year. There's 32 names a year or something. I didn't count any specific because you're just trying to scan all of it.
There's so many.
Yeah. And there's tons of great ones.
Yep. And even some that, like, you go back and forth about should I not? Does it matter? Does it affect me as strongly? Does it resonate years later?
Yeah. Is one... My number 10 is, that's what when you said, just let me know when you're ready to start, because I'm looking down at this going, well, my number 10, I watch less and less as time goes on, and I think I might watch this one in the future going forward more.
Right.
But I don't know that. That's just a guess as to how my taste is evolving.
Yeah.
And it's over and over. There's so many stinking movies.
Yeah.
Seriously, Sid, if you're listening at home and you like to make lists, do this one and let us know at facebook.com/groups/the top 10 show with the number 10, or online on Twitter at Matt Nost at The Roca Says.
Yes.
I want to see your list on this.
Yeah.
Because it's going to be such a wide, varied, you could go anything set before 1970 and you could do this full classic run of amazing movies.
Yeah.
Or anything only from the 80s. There's probably enough. Or the 90s or the 2010s or whatnot. Definitely in the past, like 15, 20 years. You could definitely do it.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
I had a tough time with some that were co-directed. And so that's where I was having trouble sometimes.
Okay.
Especially for, like, animated ones. I had a tough time with animated ones.
I chose not to include any.
Yeah, it's tough to say, like, well, is this a co-direct? Like, how many people were involved?
Some of them were straight directors.
Right.
Like Brad Bird with Iron Giant.
Right, exactly.
Flat out.
Exactly.
You brought that to life. That is an awesome standalone movie.
Yep.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I just, every time I hear more and more about the Pixar system, so to speak, these guys kind of all grow up and they all help with the project.
Right, they're all involved.
They are all involved. It's like Into the Spider-Verse. I was very close, but I was there at that panel that Collider threw.
Oh, yeah.
And got to sit down with all the directors and the writers, but it seemed like a 7-man team that made this. Just like,
Yeah.
Is it anyone's actual, even though there's only 2 guys, I think, listed as director on this.
Yeah.
It's like, it's tough for me to say. Brad Bird, I think, has the better case. Maybe that Incredibles.
Yeah.
If that was his directorial debut type of thing. But
right. And he did one of the Mission Impossible movies as well. So, yeah, that's possible. But I think with animated, there's too many people involved. And you can't
it seems like such a
separate it out.
Yeah, such a collaborative process.
Yeah.
That but I don't know. I've never made one. So it's kind of hard to definitively say.
I like how you said that. I have never made one.
Once again, my opinion is, the depth of this field is so shallow that I'm walking across the top.
The hardest thing was, like, looking at the ones that were, like, looking through the Wikipedia list, they list also TV shows and foreign ones. So it was like, holy shit. How many of these can you get?
I know at least one. I didn't count. They'd done some TV shows or TV movies first.
Oh, okay.
Because we're talking about directorial film movies, debut.
Right.
What was your first film?
Right.
Some people got to jump right in. Others started out, doing a couple projects on TV. So
yeah.
But there's different, especially one in particular. It's like when he came out, it's such a dramatic jump.
Yeah.
And was successful. It's a different,
Yeah.
It's a horse of a different color.
To me, it's also about like the legacy of the film, right? Does it still hold
sometimes.
up? Is it still something people come back to?
Yes.
Does it still
there
have the
is
effect?
one that is on your list. I'm guessing it's number one.
You already know. Yes, probably.
It's never held that. It's because I was a hipster kid when, not really, but the attitude of everybody tells you this is the greatest thing ever, and then you see it and you're like, it wasn't the greatest thing ever.
Right.
It was never going to live up to the expectation.
Okay.
So it's never.
Okay, fine, if you want to go that route.
You understand the argument, though, right?
Of course I do.
If someone builds it up as the greatest, and there's never, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Like the Beatles did it.
Yeah?
I held off and listened to them for decades. Not decades. That's obviously for hyperbole, but for the longest time, because like they're not the greatest of all time, and you listen to it and you're like, you could really make a case that they are the best band of all time. You really can.
Yeah.
The breadth and body of work is so absolutely phenomenally impressive.
In 7 years or 8 years, it's pretty phenomenal.
The wide array, they managed to do all kinds of different stuff and experiment and push themselves in ways that most artists fail.
Yeah.
And they did it like 5 times.
Yep.
Which is like, now we're going this way. And you're like, well, you pulled it off.
Yeah.
You crafted an amazing song. Sometimes I don't understand them. It's just like, you're still taking chances.
Yeah.
That's tough to do. It is. You can't put out like a Yellow Submarine and a Mockingbird.
No.
Or Blackbird, rather.
Right.
Not many bands can have that range.
Yeah.
Or it's like I Want to Hold Your Hand.
From
that to Sgt. Pepper.
Or Lucy in the Sky. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly.
It's like, and pull off both, and I like both.
In such a short amount of time. Yeah. It's incredible.
Yeah.
I mean, they were essentially the first boy band. There's a lot of people who think they were the first boy band. Except they could play their instruments.
Yeah, they had musical talent beyond pop locking and lip syncing at times.
Yeah.
But
they were dressed similarly. They didn't do dances, but they were dressed the same.
It's Gladwell's 10,000 Hours. They were grinded in Germany, picking fights with drunk Germans as they're figuring out how to be a band, and then came back and just. I
want to hold your hand. What is this? Was ist das? Anyway, all right, so we're going to do this. This is, I don't know. This is tough, man. There's a lot of choices.
I know. I don't even want to start.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of scary to start because once we start, we've officially saying that this is our list. And we rarely go this large.
No.
And this overwhelmingly broad. But we're going to try. We're going to see where we end up, and we'll see how many of these we actually have on each other's list. So there's a very strong possibility we could have 10 that neither of us has, but we'll see.
I would guess we have 1 to 2 in common.
Okay.
Maybe 3.
Okay.
But 1 to 2 is my guess.
All right.
You want to take a stab?
No. You mean like stab now and guess?
Yeah. Just guess how many you think that we have in common. I'm saying 1 to 2.
I'm saying 3.
3?
Yeah.
I'm guessing I know 1. Okay. 2 for sure now. Looking at my list.
2
for sure.
Okay. All right.
I'll go 2.
Okay.
But 3 is now in the realm of possibility. I accidentally glossed over 1 as I was reading on my initial.
Okay.
But we're going to have a lot of difference. So I just took my number 10 off.
Oh, you just did?
I pushed 9 down to 10 because that seems more appropriate.
Okay.
Because it's out of left field and it's never going to make our combined list.
Okay.
You don't have it.
Are you sure I don't have it?
I can guarantee it.
Okay. All right.
I'll bet you, I think I got like a couple singles on me.
Oof.
I'll bet you a couple singles.
Wow.
Balling over here. I stopped. I got these waters. I got myself a coffee. I slipped the guy a 10. I got some change back. I got singles, my man. I got singles.
You're dropping those Hamiltons. I gotta respect it.
Well, I dropped the Hamilton.
That's what I'm saying.
Now I got Washington's.
Oh, all right. Fair enough.
But I'm flush with Washington's. So 10 you don't have, which is Exit Through the Gift Shop.
Oh, yeah.
By Banksy.
Well, first, let's talk about how the show works, Matt.
It's true. This is the first time I've ever done that. It's a thing of beauty. That's what this topic has got me all discombobulated.
We're overwhelmed by this topic.
Discombobulated. That's why we don't do these broad fucking things.
That's
because
right.
There's too many damn choices.
We get too nervous.
David, when we come back over to England, I'm going to pull you aside at whatever place we go to for the after hours, and we are going to have a stern talking to about this broad topic shit.
Yeah, I'm just going to stand behind Matt and go, yeah.
Yeah, man. Once David set this mind in, just a racing topic, just shattered, ripped my brain apart. We went our separate ways and created a personal top 10 list and show back up here. I do my bottom 3. He does his bottom 3. I do my next 2. He does his next 2. Then we trade one apiece. Once we have revealed our personal top 10 list, we create the shows between the two of us.
Boom.
10 is Exit Through the Gift Shop by Banksy.
All right, yeah. Great point. Not on my show. Not on my list.
Not on your list. My Washingtons are safe.
I've never seen this.
Really?
Yeah.
I
remember coming out, though.
The reason it's on the list is it or is it not by Banksy? Is it or is it not real? This is all real footage.
Yeah.
But is what they're showing me what actually happened, or through editing, are you manufacturing this? Did this individual make this choice? It's supposed to be about Banksy and graffiti art, and it ends up being about someone else.
Right.
And then it becomes a question of what actually is that someone else, and is he playing a part, or is this real?
Yeah.
And it's a documentary, and it is fascinating.
Wow.
And you walk out going, good for you, Banksy. I know less about you now than I did when I walked into this.
Right.
It plays so well into exactly what you're trying to spin. And I hope you never make another thing, because that fits with what you're giving the public. Like, talk about being on brand. And I think it's just, from what he's given us, this seems to be who he is.
Yeah.
It's very interesting.
Yeah.
And that, that whole community of, it focuses on him and Shepard Fairey at first, then it pivots to another guy. But that whole, underground culture of individuals that grew to fame in their area from graffiti art. It became part of, I guess, the international discussion on some of these, at least in the Western world.
Yeah.
Once some of these guys rose to prominence. But Shepard Fairey has a multi-million-dollar clothing line now. And Banksy, still don't know who he is. And there's other guys that make great livings off of making street art. Like, good for them. But this, when I finished watching this, because I got a screener copy of it, at the end of it, it ended, and I was like, I have no idea what is going on.
Yeah.
You just want to sit down and talk about, it's kind of like Blair Witchian. Was that real or wasn't it? Like,
interesting.
You walked out with your friends and you had a 15-minute conversation.
Yeah.
And you weren't dumb. It was just presented to you as this documentary footage, whereas this is supposed to be an actual documentary. But at the end, you're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
Was this staged? Is this real? No fucking idea. Good for you to basically giving us your version of reality, Banksy.
Right.
And for that, it was out of left field. I thought it was fantastic. I think it was nominated but never had a chance, type of thing.
For Best Doc, yeah.
Yeah, I think
it was, too.
that's probably why I got the actual screener.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
So that was my 10.
Yeah, what's your number 9?
9 now becomes the choice. It becomes the choice. So once you're bumping off, I was like, you know what? I'm taking that off. It's 3 movies all vying for that number 9 spot.
Wow.
3 movies. I think the one that will... okay, we're going to cross one off. That one's gone. It's down to 2 movies. The one I'm gravitating towards is Nightcrawler.
Okay, great choice. Couldn't put it on my list, but I understand why it would be on your list. It's a great film.
Once I saw that, I was like, dude, Jake Gyllenhaal
Yeah.
is such a good actor.
Yeah.
It's not even funny, because I just saw Southpaw, and now I'm seeing this.
Yeah.
And you have played 2 utterly different individuals to the degree that I believe both were real characters.
Yeah. Yeah.
Whereas, like, Source Code is good, but that seems more middle-of-the-road meat and potatoes. You see that type of character a lot.
Yeah.
Whereas Southpaw, to see somebody, I mean, he plays a punch-drunk kid grew up in an orphanage, was a good pugilist, and that's how he made his money, and then goes into Nightcrawler, and is this creepy guy that's trying to scam his way into... But, look, he's got energy, he's got conviction, he's forthright, he's definitely read every self-help book.
He's willing to work the hours.
Yes. He's diligent.
Yep.
He's dogged. Mm-hmm. He's manipulative.
Yeah.
A lot of what you project onto what that type of individual will be, because you don't think of the fact that a lot of those individuals are like a stringer service.
Yeah.
And just like TMZ, if it bleeds, it leads. We want that footage, and you're competing in this market here in Los Angeles where car chases are something that gets everybody ratings.
Yeah.
So you're trying to chase whatever you can find, and it's just fascinating.
Yeah.
I fucking love that movie.
Yeah, the movie's fantastic. I mean, what he's able to do to his body, the slicking back of the hair,
because that dude is slick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And the unsettling stare
his eyes.
in moments in his eyes.
Bugged out. It looks like he's on coke, but more than likely it's some ADD medication like Adderall.
Right.
It's just...
It's the uncomfortable moments after people are trying to turn him down or tell him he can't do something. He just kind of takes it in for that moment and then doesn't accept it and goes forward. And you can see that he's having an internal monologue where what people are saying to him is referenced back to something he read in one of his self-help books.
Yeah.
And he's processing that moment and then reacting to it. And
through
like,
the
wow.
guise of early on when he's stolen all that stuff, all that scrap metal, and he takes it to the guy. And after he's like, basically the transaction has begun and he's like, are you hiring right now? Because he starts giving a bullet point of his resume. And the guy, in essence, was like, so you want me to give you a job, a guy that basically I know stole this stuff? And he's like, good point. He just finds a different way. He's just trying to, he's casting his net every which direction until it finally snags something. He doesn't care.
Yeah.
But
most people give up. The ones who don't are the ones who keep pushing for whatever reason.
He finds his end. He manipulates Rene Russo.
Yeah, oh my God.
Riz Ahmed, he drives him to the point of lunacy on some level.
Poor Riz, yeah. Such a great character.
Yeah. It's crazy to go back. When I rewatched it, after he had, what was that, Of Night, whatever that show was.
Oh, yeah. Yes. The Night Of.
The Night Of.
Right.
Which I liked, and then it changed, and I was like, what in the world is going on in the show?
Yeah. I agree with you. It didn't have the effect that I was hoping.
He took the prison life a little too quick for me.
Yeah.
It's just like you had a decent chance of at least trying to get off. It's like, fuck that, yo. I'm here for life. And you're like, easy there. Easy, buddy.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's like, you fucking, all right. You should be in county, not in general, federal penitentiary just yet.
Yeah.
I don't know if the county's supposed to. Is the county supposed to be that? I don't think so. If it was truly hard, they'd be at the federal level.
I hope to never find out.
Yeah. To say the least. Yeah, and the other movie that was battling it out, it's a quality one. I just think I may end up watching Nightcrawler more.
Okay.
But it's close.
That's fair. What's your number 8?
My number 8 is the Maltese Falcon.
That's my number 9.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
That was one of mine. It's got a shot.
John Huston.
It had come up not that long ago.
Okay.
In that I told you I'd never seen it. You're like, you've never seen the Maltese Falcon? Right. And I went home and I watched it a couple of days later. I was like, you know what? I should really see that.
Yeah.
And it's good.
It's damn good, man.
I'll tell you this much. Humphrey Bogart is pretty damn excellent in everything. Like you could update him delivering that dialogue to today and it still works. Yeah. There are other times where the actors, it's still like the women devolve at times into hysterics that only existed in film at a very specific time.
Right, exactly.
Just like, okay, she's a little bit more of a character or a cartoon version of herself as opposed to, it doesn't go into full histrionics.
Right.
But there are moments. And then the villain is a little, he's great.
Sidney Greenstreet.
Yeah. But
Laurie is great too. Peter Lorre is great in the film as well. Yeah, so much fun.
But he plays a better creepy character than he does.
Yes, I agree.
Still good.
Yeah, I agree.
Still good. But it's all Humphrey. It's all his swagger, his confidence,
and
easily.
And Huston is young when he directs this thing.
How old is he?
He's like 27, 24, something like that. And he understands how to use light in this noir, how to use darkness. He paces the film well. The scenes of revelation about what the Maltese Falcon actually is, all of that is really well done. And his journey, Humphrey's journey through the movie, because he stumbles into this whole situation. And he essentially lays the groundwork with this movie for all the private eyes to come.
Yeah.
Every single private eye, all the way up till now, when you see them in movies, there's a little bit of that Maltese Falcon type of vibe to the private eye, or our interpretation is that the private eye should be this way.
It helped shape the discussion of what that is. Right. And that discussion evolved over time, but the roots, the DNA of the current discussion is based in him and a few other iconic things. I mean, that's the reason it makes a list. This translates so well to now, and that's difficult to do.
Yep.
The pacing is nice. Mm-hmm. They keep it to a solid, like it's $1.30, $1.40.
Yep.
It's what it should be.
Yeah, for noirs.
If it's made today, if it's made 70 years ago, it should be about $1.30, $1.40.
Right.
We don't need an extra 20 minutes to flesh this out to 2.
Agree.
I'm walking out. It's like another movie on my list. I'm just like, you could release that today, and that's still might have to make a couple tweaks here and there, but that's ready to roll.
Yeah,
that's impressive.
Yeah, I don't disagree. All right, so then my number 10.
You doing the same thing?
Yeah, kind of.
It's a tough one, man.
I hate to say this. Yeah, my number 10 is being John Malkovich.
Okay.
Yeah. That film is it's not one of my how can I say this?
I don't rewatch it. That's why I didn't make my list.
Yeah, but it's technically one of the most fantastic films I've ever seen. The Charlie Kaufman script is brilliant. The pathetic nature of Cusack, which is a character he rarely plays.
All of them.
Right, all of them. Right, Cameron Diaz
was at the height of she's supposed to be a sex pot. Now she's playing this.
Yeah, kind of mousy, whatever, with the curly hair.
Yeah, resigned to a schlubby life.
Yeah, Catherine Keener playing this like kind of like ruthless, I don't know what you call them, femme fatale, I guess to a degree.
Kinda.
But like she's never caught out. She's so in control of her. Catherine Keener has never, in my opinion, has never radiated that kind of sexuality, but she does in this movie. Mm-hmm. Whether you believe it or not is your own situation, but she does it so well. And you get what's happening here. And the inventiveness of this whole situation of going into Malkovich's body is just genius.
Yeah.
And when he ends up like staying in the body for so long because he's been all of it is just, and this whole little separate world that's created within Malkovich, all of it is just genius.
It is so weird.
Yes.
This is truly from the mind of one individual has managed to have been brought to the big screen.
Yes.
By the other, like just another interesting individual.
Well, and I always think this is, that time that was the last gasp of the independent film movement. The early 2000s was the last gasp of that 90s stuff. We don't really get it like we did before.
You don't think so?
No. I don't think we have it that same way like Reservoir. There's no Reservoir Dogs. I don't see that anymore. Do you?
It just gets released. It's like First Reformed. Or it's like, what's the Lighthouse one coming out with Willem Dafoe?
It's called The Lighthouse, yeah.
Yeah. Like a lot of what A24 is doing.
Yeah, yeah.
We just saw another A24. Like I saw 2 A24s this summer.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Maybe that's what I'm...
It's just a different... So now it comes from kind of one production company, but they're still taking swings. Mm-hmm. There aren't as many individual auteurs, a la those individuals, that manage to kind of cement a brand as often.
Yeah.
If they're that good, they get swept up into the other bigger machines like Rian Johnson.
Yeah, right.
Or what's his name that did Josh Trank.
Yeah, Trank.
She's like, he's got a, we know what he is. Boom, let's get him to do this.
Even Bayona, who did the last Jurassic World, he had done those smaller horror films.
There are fewer Villeneuves.
Yep. Agreed. Anyway, this is fantastic. Great performances from everybody involved. You haven't seen this one in quite some time or haven't seen it at all. You should definitely watch it because it is supremely weird. And yes, Malkovich is in the movie, and it's genius what ends up happening with him as well. As I said, number 9 is Maltese Falcon. Number 8 is Boys in the Hood.
Okay.
Yeah. Didn't make your list? Okay.
If one from a first-time director talking about the struggles of South Central was going to make it was going to be Menace to Society.
Oh, fair. The Hughes brothers.
It was close.
Okay.
It was very close.
All right. I can respect that. I think for me, this is the one that I will go back to of those more often.
Okay.
Because I just like, it's a tragic story, and the performances of Cuba. This is before Cuba did Snow Dogs and all that kind of jazz, and I think he's really powerful here. I like Lawrence Fishburne, of course, and
Morris Chestnut, Ice Cube,
Ice Cube, all those guys, and it's brutal. It's still ruthless, and it still resonates. Some of the danger that goes on that you watch in the film, it's not like Colors. Like you go back and see Colors, and that's terrible. It's cheesy as fuck.
What are you talking about, Vato?
1, 2, Holmes.
Hey, what's up, Pac-Man? Hey, Pac-Man.
It's terrible.
Orale, Vato, hey. Everybody has their khaki creased pants up to right below their nipples with weird suspenders and wife beaters.
I like the redhead they tried to turn into a cholo. That was my favorite in Colors. So ridiculous. But in Boys in the Hood, there's what?
Did you like Lean Like a Cholo? Did you ever listen to that?
No.
Lean Like a Cholo. You never heard that?
No.
Oh, are you kidding me?
That must be West Coast.
It is West Coast.
Yeah.
But it came out like 8 years ago. You lived here.
What?
10 years ago. It's a song.
Oh, yeah, right.
Lean like a cholo, back, side to side. It's like the worst video you've ever seen, but it became somewhat of a hit out here so much so that I heard it on the radio a few times. Yeah.
Well, I just listen to Sirius, so I never hear this kind of stuff. Lean like a cholo from
it's somebody that lives in Southern California.
Yeah. Down, a.k.a. Kilo. Lean like a cholo. We're probably going to get a strike on us for this, but...
Oh, yeah, they have the weird strip club. That's right, side to elbows out, side to side. I mean, it's just a dude. Is this a dance move? I didn't know this was like a ubiquitous dance move.
I don't think it's a dance move.
I think it might be, because this was a hit with the Latino population out here in Southern California.
I don't know.
Look at what's the view count at?
2.5 million views. Good God.
That's all from Southern California.
And this was 12 years ago.
There you go. 8 was a little short.
8 was a little short. That's all right. Wow. Lean like a cholo. All right.
The guy raps at that, like this high pitch, like he's almost losing his breath a little bit on every... Elbows out, side to side.
All right, there you go. Anyway, Boys in the Hood, fantastic. Still holds up. The late, great John Singleton. What a debut. And at the time when it came out, people were like blown away by this film.
Yes.
Came out at the time when gangster rap was also on the ascendancy and people were being exposed to what was happening in the streets in South Central with the cops and with the police and with these gang members and what was going on in these communities and some of the police brutality and also some of the crime. All of it was being highlighted in these rap music and certainly Boys in the Hood show that. And it's tragic. It's tragic as fuck, that movie. And that scene between Cuba near the end with Lawrence when he's got the gun, he's got to have the conversation with him.
Yeah.
Man, it is some incredible work there from all of them, and you can't help but give that credit to the director, and that's John Singleton. So
it started a whole wave. There is no Menace without Boys in the Hood.
Yep.
There is no South Central. There is no Juice. There is no.
Yeah.
It created a slight renaissance of stories talking about the inner city struggle of kids growing up in that type of environment out here in California, also in New York a little bit with Juice and with some others that came out. What was it? Was Sugar Hill Gang or something like that? One of them.
Sugar Hill that was Wesley.
Yeah, Wesley, and he was on top of a drug empire somewhere on the East Coast. But I always associate that with New York.
Yeah.
Although King of New York came before that with Chris Walken.
Yeah, that was in the 80s.
Yeah. But it sparked so much so that then there ended up being NWH, Don't Be a Menace to South Central, like the parody version of. You know how you've been around for a while.
Yeah, when they parody you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And don't be a menace to South Central while you're drinking your juice in the hood.
Yeah.
Just like we're going to try and bring in as many of them as we possibly can. But I watched all of them.
Yeah.
I've seen damn near everyone that, from that era.
Baby Boy, the Tyrese one.
Didn't watch it. I never bought Tyrese as that type of guy.
Yeah, no.
It's just, as soon as that came out, I was like, nah, pass.
Yeah. Literally soft. Literally soft.
I'm sorry. Even if you're from there, your whole persona to me has been the same as like Usher.
Yeah.
Or Babyface.
Even Drake.
Drake. Like, I'm never going to buy that you're from that area.
Tough or anything.
I don't give a shit how good your acting is. Exactly. Will Smith doesn't try to do that.
Nope. Well,
because he knows he can't.
Yeah.
We don't view him like that.
Right.
And nor maybe he doesn't view himself like that.
That's when Hammer tried to go hard, I was like, stop it. Please stop it.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, when everything you've been giving us is this.
Yeah.
And you were a ball boy for the A's.
Well, and the thing is, Hammer was hard at the beginning. Turn This Mother Out. That's a fucking awesome song. And that is hardcore shit at that time. And then he goes into Can't Touch This. And I don't even think Can't Touch This is that bad. It's when he starts doing the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle songs or whatever those songs were, or whatever rap he did.
Too Legit to Quit?
The Addams Family.
Addams Family?
That was when it was over. That's when it was over. Right?
Come on. Too legit to quit. Hey, hey, yeah. Too legit. And there's a hand thing. Yep. And I was young enough to I'll try and learn this. Look, I remember when Bartman came out.
Oh, right.
I was looking forward to it when they announced it because I was a kid. And I was like, do the Bartman. Yeah. I had the T-shirt. I still have the same Bartman T-shirt that I had in third grade, fourth grade, one of the two.
Wow.
Third grade, I think it was.
Okay.
And it's sitting in a drawer. It's one of two of my boyhood shirts that I held on to, and the other one got lost in a move. It's like 2 moves ago.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. It was the only Jordan shirt that I kept, and I had about 25 of them.
Wow.
It's all, hey, we got you a Jordan shirt for your birthday. Right. Hey, we got you. It's just, if you can find one, I'll wear it. And some of them stopped fitting, and I just held on to them because they were my Jordan shirts. Yeah. So that's over the course of how many years Jordan loomed so large in my childhood and through my teenage years. Oh, we got another Jordan shirt. I'll wear it.
Add it.
Yeah.
I hear you. What's your number 7?
7 for me is Blood Simple, the Coen brothers.
Oh, nice. I've never seen it, so.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of my, I think we might have that one. There's 2 others.
Okay.
So we might get to your 3, but my 2 is looking pretty good right now. My 2 is looking good. The reason it's 7, I guess, on some level for me is you see it. Look, it is a quality movie, just like everything else. By and large, the Coens have done. Even though we may not be the biggest Hail Caesar fans, I can still appreciate the amount of work that went into it, and all the choices, the cinematography, the costumes, etc. And Blood Simple is just a very simple, stripped-down story, but it's done so precisely that it's impressive that 2 brothers have managed to collaborate on this. And it's also because this one was so good, and they're almost independent filmmakers. This is an independent film. Because of the quality of this, we have the Coens to this day.
Yeah.
They kept just churning out. We can do a small movie on our own and make something that is just top-notch quality.
Yeah.
So because of that, it's like, thank God for Blood Simple. Because now I have No Country. I have Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
I have Raising Arizona. I have Miller's Crossing. All of that because you guys just clicked from day one from the first one, and I like Blood Simple. It's not my favorite Coen.
Right.
Brothers, but at the same time, because of it, I've got so many movies that are in the discussion for one of my favorite movies.
That's fair.
So it's just like, it deserves a place on my list. I may not go back to rewatch it more than the others, but it's tough to kind of find a director or directors that always work together. We'll say that since it was co-director, but their first one was this good.
Yeah.
There is no, like, I don't go back for Spielberg or
Duel.
The Duel or THX or
for Coppola.
Yes, Scorsese's first.
Lucas, or Mean Streets or whatever.
Yeah. But there's 2 before Mean Streets or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know what that is. I've never seen it.
Yeah, Alice doesn't live here anymore.
Something. But just like the Coens, boom, from one, that is, I've seen it. I think it's excellent. I like your others by and large more.
Yeah.
But there are some that I definitely slot lower than that.
Yeah.
Thank you for being so good. I would say, I don't want to say, obviously too much, but it's a simple, lovers type of kind of interconnected entanglement between lovers and former lovers. Type of thing. And there you go.
It's a noir, isn't it?
Yes.
Like a modern noir? Yeah. I need to see it. It's ridiculous that I haven't seen it. All right, what's your number 6?
6 is Ex Machina.
Oh, yeah, I debated on that one. That was tough, and that's a good film.
Because it's such a philosophical discussion. For your first film, for me to walk away like that had a more profound effect than Pi for Aronofsky. Yeah. Whereas that was interesting, but at the end of it, it's just like, who knows?
Right.
Could have been. Whereas for Ex Machina, it's just like, wow, what is your reality? What isn't reality? What is the future of this technology? What does that pretend for human beings? How do you define a soul?
Yeah.
What makes something human? What is a personality? What is it? She seems to have a lot of the spark of life that we assume and associate with life.
Right.
Some individuals carry dominion over animals because they don't have that type of, it's why they'll eat pigs and cows just as I will. Yeah. But it's part ingrained of they don't have a soul like I do. She kind of does.
Yeah.
Okay. Is she alive? She doesn't breathe air, but technically by definition, fire on some level is alive. It breathes oxygen. It consumes. Yeah. Like it has aspects of life to it, but it has no idea, no mind, no passion, no thought. It still fulfills a lot of the definition, though.
Yeah, true.
That's your first fucking film?
Right.
I mean...
Alex Garland.
Yeah, that's really impressive.
Yeah. I don't disagree with you. He gets a great performance out of Oscar Isaac.
Domhnall Gleeson,
right.
Vikander.
Yeah, Alicia Vikander. And the twist at the end is completely believable.
Yep.
And how many men have caught themselves in that trap? And that was brilliant as well. It was unique and universal at the same time, and which I thought was kind of brilliant from him. And the special effects were minimal and worked really well.
It's not the focus.
No, exactly. Which is what was great.
Yeah, it's part of the character development.
There's some incredibly well-written scenes in that movie, too.
Well, because it's in essence us.
Yep.
It's two individuals sitting across from each other and they're having a dialogue. That's the defining scene in a movie that was in discussion on my list, but it's never really, because of the lack of rewatchability, it's not going to merit making it on.
Right.
But there's a scene right in the middle of like 15 minutes where it's just two people talking. It is fucking riveting.
Yeah.
It's flat out riveting.
Yeah.
And when you can do that, and especially as your first time director, it's like, that is so impressive because you don't need the pomp and circumstance of big explosions or this, that, and the other. You're carrying the tension and suspense just by the written word on the page.
Yeah.
Like understanding the interplay between two individuals so well. It's really impressive.
Agreed. That was your number 6?
That was my 6. That's another A24. Is it not?
That's true. I think it is, yeah. My number 7 then is A Star is Born from Bradley Cooper.
Okay.
I had no idea this film was going to make it on my list. Like, honestly, when I started writing my list out, I was like, blah, blah, blah. And then I randomly hit a couple other sites, and then I went, fuck. I stumbled on that, and I was just like, man. I thought it was an incredible debut by an actor. It's a long film, and it doesn't feel long.
True.
And his ability to capture the concert scenes is incredible when you juxtapose that to the scene in the strip club when it's just him and the guitar. Like or whatever is the dance club, whatever it is. He's able to capture whatever environment he is putting the film in a way that's authentic and believable and exciting and interesting.
True.
He gets great performance out of himself. And
a phenomenal performance.
It should, in my opinion, I don't know if it's yours, but should have won the Oscar. Yeah, should have won Best Actor.
Should have won it hands down.
Absolutely. People will forget Rami's performance. They will not forget Bradley's.
Yes, they will.
And I thought he had a great performance out of Lady Gaga as well. And maybe that's editing or maybe that's like directing. I don't know. But I thought he got great performance out of her. Dice Clay is great in the movie. Sam Elliott is fantastic in the movie. So to me, a lot of what he was able to do and tell the story and not pull any punches, including that scene when he pisses himself, I just thought it was a very bold film to explore this devolution of a man as the evolution of his girlfriend is happening, who he helped to get a shot at the title. That was brilliant.
Look, man, I was with you. Couldn't believe I loved it. And then by and large, all the character or the story choices they made with her character towards the end of the movie.
Right.
Just left me. I was like, you know what? Now I wish you had scrapped all that and just focused on Bradley Cooper and his character because he was phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I found him just mesmerizing every time he was on. Like that scene you were talking about with him at the burlesque club.
Yeah.
And he's just on stage because it's like, we performed for you. Why don't you perform for us? And everybody at first was like, oh, hey, whatever that character's name is, like, don't be a jerk.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she's taken off her, I don't know what the pronoun would be. She at that moment was just like, and he's like, it's fair is fair type of thing. And he gets up and sings a song where I was like, I want that in my life. As soon as it ended, I was like, I need to make a mental note of see if they release a soundtrack.
Yeah.
Because I want that song. That to me was way better than Shallows, and I love Shallows.
It's absolutely better than Shallow.
He just crushed it. I was like, what is this?
Yeah.
Eddie Vedder meets, Eddie Van Halen with the drinking.
Yeah.
Mixed with Bono and a little fucking Bob Dylan. Like, this is awesome.
Yeah, maybe it's time to let the good times.
Yeah, what is this life like?
Yeah.
And to see that a star has to die for another star to be born, type of beautiful synergy within the story. I just didn't buy any of the bullshit that they put her through with the dancers and that part logically does not make any sense to me.
But it's well directed. Whether it's story wise works for the film, it's still well directed, and that's what I come back to over and over again. So
I walked out upset because I couldn't love it.
Yeah, that's fair.
Upset because I was so entranced by the two of them, like late night hanging out when she's got to get the peas or whatever else, and
their chemistry is incredible.
Them just talking. You can see, like, I don't know, he found someone.
Yeah,
and it is that simple to him.
That's it. I knew. Like when I picked up the guitar, I knew this is what I'm supposed to be or who I'm supposed to be with. Yeah.
And I saw the ending for that character long before it happened. I was like, of course we're going to end here.
Yeah.
I really think the movie should end here. It just fade to black. We get some maybe voiceover over the black of, and now accepting a Grammy, like her, whatever, her star exploding as his, completely fades.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We didn't need that. But that's when you cast Gaga, her people are like, you got to give me my diva performance.
It's not even that. It's we got to appeal to audiences.
Her
we got to leave them with some sort of happy ending.
Yeah, true.
Can't just make it depressing like life.
Truth. Then my number 6 is America.
Did you know that if you hang yourself, there's a chance that as men we'll get an erection?
Well, that would make sense with the auto asphyxiation stuff.
True, and I think maybe it's cutting off the blood flow to the brain, so that excess blood that would go down and just a byproduct of.
Yeah.
I heard that offhand, and I was like, I don't know if that's true, but it sounds true enough.
Feels logical to me.
I don't know. I just heard that not long ago, like a month ago, and I was like, huh.
Yeah.
Okay, I could see where that makes sense.
Yeah. My number 6 is American Beauty from Sam Mendes.
Never a chance to make my list. Didn't make my side list.
Wow.
Didn't make consideration.
All right, there you go. Look, there's no need to come out so vitriolically against my choice, but clearly you didn't like the choice.
It's a shopping bag twirling in the wind over in the corner there. Look at that.
But
look at the philosophical conversation that I have to evoke within myself because you're giving me nothing but a fucking twirling bag, and somehow that's supposed to make me do what Ex Machina does.
That's fair.
No chance.
If you feel that way. I enjoy the hell out of the way Sam directs this film. The story that he's telling here of Kevin Spacey's character and his change and his progression in his life and getting out of his sad marriage, but also how it's affecting everything around him. So just because he's going on this journey and this creepy journey, because obviously he has a thing for his daughter's girlfriend, played by Mina Suvari, like this kind of weird-ass journey works within the construct of the film because of how Sam directs it. The performance he gets out of Annette Bening, everything that goes on with Thora Birch and Wes Bentley is interesting, and I agree the paper bag thing floating around is ridiculous. But the angst that they feel about they have no place to belong, really. That's kind of what was going on with a lot of kids at that time, and he really captures it well.
Kids in general, I think my problem with the movie is, who is the likable individual that I'm cheering for? Spacey?
Kind of, yeah. You're supposed to. Because he's breaking out of his terrible job, his loveless marriage.
His terrible wife,
and
his weird neighbor.
His weird neighbor.
I don't know. The movie as a whole is depressing. I didn't like any of the characters.
Okay.
Fair enough. That to me, oh, God. It is. It just evokes the worst in me. And
clearly.
People are like, oh, it's so good. You just don't get... I've been attacked before. Wow. Attacked is a strong word.
Okay.
But someone told me, basically your opinion is wrong. If my ultimate critique of it is I find it pretentious.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, you're not explaining yourself. And sometimes the feeling is so emotionally guttural that it's hard to summate into words. And I'm not a man that... I don't struggle for vocabulary.
True.
And I can't really put into words the dick punch I want to give this movie. Because I don't enjoy it in the slightest.
Don't sell yourself short. I feel like you are doing a really good job of conveying.
That's a problem. I don't feel that I am. You see me connecting with the dick, and I think the guy still has like really solid pants on. I don't know where I'm swinging just yet. I really feel like I'm struggling to zone in on those huevos and take a shot.
Fair enough. Well, that's all I'll tell you is I love the way story. I love the cinematography. I think Sam tells a fantastic story in this film. And it's still one that whenever I catch certain scenes, still I enjoy thoroughly and resonates with me. But that being said, I know for some people it doesn't work. So let's move on. What's your number 5?
You're sitting across from one of them.
Yeah, clearly. What's your number 5?
5 is not on your list.
Okay.
You might even groan.
Okay.
I'm completely fine with that.
Okay.
Caddyshack.
Yeah, go ahead.
Dude,
it's not on my list.
So many comedies I wanted to put on this list. So many comedies.
Really? Okay.
Are you kidding me? There's 3 others that I'm like, wow, I might have to put this on.
Okay.
But I went with Caddyshack because it was one of my first rewatchables.
Yeah.
In that It was on VHS or something the first time I saw it, and I got to see it a bunch of times. It's lived with me since then, and it was the first of those. And there have been other comedies that have joined that awesome bandwagon over the years.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, we got another room, jump on board. And I got another movie that just like, it's a comedy, and I can watch it an infinite number of times, and Caddyshack was the first. So that's why it trumped the others on my list. It's just like, you made that status before these others.
Yeah.
Good for you. And I effing love Caddyshack. What baffles me is I think it came up in the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/the Top 10 Show, that a few people went back to it from us talking about it. They're like, yeah, it just doesn't do anything for me.
That's crazy.
I know there are expanses where it's just like there's not a lot of jokes technically going through here.
Yeah.
Or if you don't care about the golfer story with the girl that may or may not be pregnant and all that, I understand.
Yeah.
It struggles for its own identity at times within the movie. Because the overall arc is more so about the little guy making it up over the big guy.
Yeah.
And
the golfer?
Yeah. Well, the gopher, kind of symbolizes that in and of itself, but it's like the caddy standing up to the rich kids. It's the anti-establishment against establishment via this country club of this white wasp world.
Yeah.
And people of color and whatnot who are the caddies.
Yeah.
And they only get to their caddy tournament. They get to use the pool one day a year. And they're just heathen animals.
Yeah.
But the jokes have just been indelible for me with Bill Murray. Cinderella, boy, tears in his eyes. Him fucking with Danny over and over and over again.
Yeah.
I was born to love you. I was born to lick your face. He goes to open that Perrier or whatever, but he doesn't. They're all uncapped because he has no other. So, look at that. It came right off. And just hands it to her. The dumbest jokes.
Yes.
The dumbest jokes.
But they're fun.
They are.
Rodney's great in the movie.
He is.
Holy crap.
Oh, I'll take 3 of these, 4 of these. Oh, that's the worst hat I've ever seen. Well, it looks great on you. Oh, it's just...
Ted Knight is fantastic.
Oh, Ted Knight is stellar.
By Bushwood Hugh. The whole scene with the priest playing in the rain, just genius.
Yeah.
Just genius. All of it. Like when he gets hit by the lightning and you see Bill in the background just kind of lay the golf clubs down and run away. Not even call the cops, just run away.
Nope.
And then later on you come with the priest and he says like, there is no God. It's just like genius all around how funny that film is. So I can't fault you for putting it on your list. I can't. Who's the director? Do you remember the director?
It is Harold Ramis.
Oh, it is Harold Ramis.
It's Harold Ramis.
All right, it's good to know. It's probably going to be a Schmodown question. All right, what's your number 4? Oh, wait, we go back and forth?
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. My number 5 is Get Out by Jordan Peele.
Okay.
Yeah.
It was close.
Ooh, that's a good film, man.
I don't know how many times I'll go back to rewatch it just yet. It's only been out for, 2 years?
Yeah.
I've only seen it once.
Okay, fair enough. I think this is an incredible announcement of a director, and no one saw this fucking coming. No one. Everyone's like, what? The guy from Key and Peele is directing a horror movie? Okay. And then you watch it, and it's a brilliant take on racial relations with stuff that's being said that people have said quietly amongst each other, but never seen in an actual movie. And it was mind-blowing to see how gutsy it was for him to put that in the movie. I mean, nothing I'd seen before came close to how spot on, maybe since Do the Right Thing, how spot on he was about racial fears and racial what may be at the core of racism. The reason you're racist against this group is because you actually think this group is functionally better than you at most things, or is somehow more desirable than you at some.
Wow. White culture has been co-opting black culture.
Yeah, for years, because they think it's cool.
Yeah, since the idea of popular culture.
Rock and roll.
Yeah, but modern understanding of popular culture is white people stealing from black people's idea of what cool is, and then putting a Pat Boone spin on it in the in the 50s,
right?
And that evolved over time.
Yep, exactly.
But
seeing that and just the performances are fantastic. Ola Kaluuya and Lil Rel and Ashley Williams. All just great stuff, and I love that scene. Just to me, the film. Oh, and of course, Lakeith Stanfield. For me, the film is summarized near kind of closer to the end when she is looking for a new person.
Oh, she's drinking her milk?
And she's drinking, and the milk is in a separate thing, and the Fruit Loops are not integrated with the milk. And I was like, damn.
But everything, and it's in the white little cup.
Yep.
And everything is this astringent world. It's, it's one of when you're watching it and you're like, shh, that looks evil as shit.
Yep.
It's all white. Mm-hmm. It's all white.
And
that's an interesting discussion as to who we are, the culture and world that we've created for ourselves in America, especially modern day America. It's like, that's super interesting.
It's ruthless, unapologetic white supremacy, and it's fucking scary and evil. And I think it's brilliant.
Is it though? You know what I mean? Is it? Are we so bad? Are we so bad?
To be fair, every race or minority has terrible people in it. But like when you're the majority race, seeing that kind of...
I mean, we've been to space, you know what I mean?
Sure.
Got some cool shit along the way. Hoover Dam's pretty sweet.
Hoover Dam is pretty sweet. But yeah, I mean, but even if you removed all of that, if you didn't even want to watch it for the ratio, it's a fantastic horror film.
Oh, yeah, it's still a good horror film.
Yeah, it's still a great horror film because it works on a gender level as well.
But the subtext of discussion, it's actually what it's partially having with you.
Yeah.
On top of that, with the loss of identity and loss of sense of self and sense of community and culture within this, like subsumed by this larger culture, and you are just fodder for the gears of society over on the side. And
even if you were to look at it, say it's an all-white film, right? It still works on...
If you did a white, like a rich and poor white film, it still works.
It still works on a gender level. It works on a class level. And it even works on an ageism level. The fact that old people want to co-opt youth because they don't want to let go of being young, and they will sacrifice you for their effort to stay young.
Youth is wasted on the young.
Yeah, that's what they say.
And it's weird. The older I get, I'm just like, you know what? Had I known at 20 what I know now.
That's the circle of life.
It is.
Yeah.
I don't know much, but I know I love you. And that may be all I need to know.
That's a good point.
We need to get an Aaron Neville. Is anybody listening? If you can sing like Aaron Neville, let's do some sort of top 10 something or other.
Sure. Sounds good. What's your number 4?
4 is that's the other classic that I've mentioned earlier that you can go back for. 12 Angry Men.
Oh, nice choice, man.
Sidney Lumet had done TV. And he had done a TV movie or two, but he was doesn't count because TV at that time was utterly different.
Yes.
And when you make a jump to theatrical, you're making a movie.
Yeah.
You have to. It's a completely different art form.
Yep.
TV at that time, still on some level, it still is, but at that time was definitely, we got to make fucking sausage.
Yep.
So we got to make 30 of these a year, how many ever a TV season was.
Yeah.
And just let's start grinding, baby. What do you got? And to turn around and make something that I think, by and large, could be released today, and if you just update it instead of making it black and white, it was color and whatnot, and put all actors in it that people today knew, but you could take that script, that thing would be a success.
Yeah.
It's got great pacing, characters you can understand. It's just really well done. It's
a fantastic play from Reginald Rose. I directed a version of it at college, made some money off of that thing, kind of funded my way out here. So I will always have a special place in my heart for 12 Angry Men. I wanted to put it on my list. I probably should have put it on my list, but I thought it was a bit of an old choice, and I thought since I have Maltese already, I don't want to go too old. But I think it's a great choice.
Well, you have another old choice.
Yes, true. Another fair point.
Yeah.
Both of those are old choices. I didn't want to add another one.
I got two. You got two.
Yeah. And I think that's fair because that's a fantastic one to have, Matt, because it's an incredible cast. Jack Klugman, Henry Fonda, E.G. Marshall, Lee J. Cobb.
I understand why now there was a Peter Fonda and a Fonda and a Fonda and a Fonda.
Yeah, exactly. So many Fondas.
Well, because you see him and you're like, I'm sure this represented a dad-like or a paternal-like figure within cinema for a long time.
Yeah.
Because I buy into it. And the argument he makes is a simple yet effective and moralistic argument that is just as true and will always be as true.
Yep.
And the other dude, the other dude is basically the people that come at us full throttle, which does not happen all that much anymore. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you not have I don't know what baggage you have from somewhere else that you're redirecting at us, but deal with your shit and come back and enjoy the show.
Yeah.
If you still have or whatever, so be it. I hope you were like assistant director or something on that movie. Then you got to gripe with me. I fucking get it.
Lee J. Cobb. Great.
To see him do that and all the other individuals, just like the audience, understand Fonda's simple question.
Yeah.
It's not that difficult, but you do have to kind of strip down your preconceived notions and your perceptions and what you're projecting onto another individual, another caste or class of society.
Yeah.
Lumet, it is a craftsman's-like touch to a first movie. It is beautifully done.
I agree. Thoroughly agree, man.
Yeah.
Thoroughly agree.
Go back and watch it, youngins.
Yeah.
Anybody hasn't seen it.
It's on Criterion. You can buy it on Criterion.
Fuck, man, There's fewer Criterion movies than there are Saudi Princes.
Hey-o.
Was that from Topic Thunder?
Yes.
That was from Topic Thunder.
You'll find out when you hear that one.
Yeah, for those that support us at patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10. Do you think anybody out there is putting in patreon.com/the top 10 with the number 10?
Yes. And they're like frustrated.
Dude, it's a long URL. Never works. I've tried it at Facebook. I've tried their Gmail account.
I've done everything I can.
These guys are assholes.
All right, my number 4 is Badlands from Terrence Malick.
I have not seen it.
Oh, really? Okay. This is an incredible film. Martin Sheen,
right? Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Martin Sheen, Sissy Spacek. Just an incredible film to come out of the gate with. And I know a lot of people don't like Malick now. He's stream of consciousness filmmaking, whatever. I still go see those films and love them to pieces. But Badlands is such a great story, a simple story. If you ever heard Springsteen's Nebraska, if you ever watched Bonnie and Clyde, this all kind of is related to Badlands in a way. And they go on this crime spree. What he's able to do with the camera, the cinematography, the sense of desperation, and the ruthlessness of these two as they go on their killing spree is so unsettling. And then you get caught up in Sissy Spacek's story of like this young girl who's got nothing else going on in her world, who gets swept up by this kind of like young, charming, kind of brutal dude. And then has no idea what she's got herself caught up into until later and what she has to do. So all of it so works, and the pacing of the film is great, and the performances. And his use of the natural elements of the world, the wind, the high grass, all of it. He does such a fantastic job with the film that it's honestly, it's a classic debut. Like, it isn't just a great debut. It's like the film is a classic, and it's incredible to knock that out of the park on your first film.
Sounds like a Hemingway novel. The way you described it, like that to me seems like the description sometimes that he gives to all kinds of. But the grass when it came up, just like you can visualize that. It's almost like a Gladiator, I'm guessing, but without the lens through which they're the netherworld that you're viewing that through, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's like these big cinematic scoping, like wide scope shots.
Yeah, it's incredible. All right, what's your number 3?
3 is one of the other potential 2 that you may have. Shawshank Redemption.
Yes, sir. That's my number 3.
Wow. Okay. I'm guessing my 1 is your 2. That's my guess.
So. All right.
I'm going to go ahead and put a little check mark next to Shawshank. And it's just so we're going to end up with 3.
All right.
That's my guess at least.
Yeah, sure.
Just wow.
Yeah, Frank Darabont.
Wow.
To take a novella.
From Stephen King.
A novella, which means a small novel, and turn it into this epic, almost 2.5-hour film that is incredibly rewatchable and feels like a weighty film about friendship.
Somehow, a movie about prison became one of the most rewatchable movies in the history of cinema.
Yep.
That doesn't make any sense. Well, just in that it would be like a road picture, like freedom, discovery, something you would assume, or a relationship between a man and a woman or whatnot. Some sort of love story. It doesn't have to be a man and a woman. Would be the most rewatchable, or a sports movie or a comedy. And somehow Shawshank, for all of us, thanks to TBS and TNT and HBO and everybody else that has taken a stab at just playing the living shit out of Shawshank.
Yeah.
Because instead of Christmas Story playing for 24 hours straight, that's Shawshank per year on some channel.
Yeah.
They just, you can see Shawshank every day. It's like, what is that, PCU, where the guy's thesis is he can watch a Michael Caine movie. He can find one on cable every hour.
Every hour.
You could probably do that now with Shawshank on some level.
Yep.
You get close.
You can get close.
And you can't fault him.
No. I mean, that's the thing. And the performances of Tim Robbins and Morgan Freeman and, everyone in the film is incredible. And Clancy Brown is great as the ruthless villain. But it's a story about a guy trying to get out of the prison of his mind. Not just the physical prison.
Yeah, prison of his own doing.
Mind. Yeah, prison of his own doing, right. And how he gets out. And him and Morgan, him and Red, both of them, Andy and Red, both of them are trying to get out of the prison of their minds. And Andy finally figures it out, and Red follows suit. And in that, they find true peace and contentment with each other. But overall, the film puts you on such a journey. And once again, like some of these other films we've talked about, Matt, doesn't pull its punches with the ruthlessness of the rape, the ruthlessness of...
from the sisters?
Right, and not having it be a happy ending until much later, which means he endured that rape for years.
Yes.
And that's overwhelming to think about.
When he plays the record,
yeah,
you feel the same as the prisoners do. Mm-hmm. When Morgan Freeman on voiceover and just like, I have no idea what that woman was singing about, but it's easily one of those beautiful things I've ever heard in my life.
Yep.
And...
the moments of rebellion.
Yeah, the joy on his face as he gets to share a piece of himself with everyone else. And it does, it's a rising tide lifting everybody's ship, even if it was just for a short amount of time. Yeah. It's amazingly beautiful over and over and like that. And then heart-wrenching. Yeah,
heart-wrenching. Certainly Brooks' story is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
And Red almost following the same path before the turn happens. And yeah, everything involved in there. And, he rebels so that he can feel like human, so he can feel like himself again, right? If he had totally conformed to prison life, he'd have just given up hope. But he can't. He has to find his way out. And those small moments of rebellion, which is also confronting the security guard, the main security guard, about the $30,000 and setting up a tax shelter for him, all that kind of jazz. All of it is part of it,
And the warden blows his brains out.
Yeah.
It's so good. You're like, oh, thank God. Thank God you got the ending you deserved.
Yep.
When Morgan Freeman is at his parole hearing after having so many parole hearings, and do I feel, what is it, reformed?
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
Yeah.
He's finally honest with himself.
Yeah.
And with them, boom, you're paroled. Because you've been bullshitting. Right. Yourself and us for all these years.
You've been trying to say what you think they want to hear. And now you can finally say their truth, your truth.
Yeah, and now you're not full of piss and vinegar. And he's like, I don't even recognize who that was.
Yeah.
There's
not
true.
a day go by that I don't want to tell that man to stop doing what he's doing. Yeah, it's great stuff. All right, what's your number 2?
2 is probably not on your list.
Okay.
This is Spinal Tap.
Yeah, not on my list.
I think this thing is so good.
I know. I respect people that love that film so much. I don't know why I can't love it as much as y'all do, but I know it's a funny film.
Oh, man.
I just don't love it as much as everybody else.
Just the idea that how they came up with this, I guess ostensibly on their own.
Yeah.
But bands, a decade later, stories were starting to come out and being like, I feel like you guys heard a story about me and you put that in the movie. And you're like, are you for real? Yes, this happened to us in Cleveland.
Yeah, of course.
I've heard stories of, random bands where they've had malfunctions at concerts, and it's like, you easily could have put that in Spinal Tap and make a movie. But it happened closer to now. Like, there's so many concerts going on at all times, especially when you have like big, stupid stage productions.
Yeah.
Think of a night where Pink Floyd is out and they're doing the whole wall, and they've got huge set pieces, or they're not doing the wall that night, but they're doing, War Pigs, or that's a Black Sabbath. But, Pink Floyd would be floating huge balloons or whatever else, but a set piece does not work. They have all this massive stage production and these big, crazy artistic ideas, and of course there's going to be a night it fails.
Yeah.
Or you can't find the fucking stage.
Fucking Stonehenge.
Or you can't, Stonehenge. Bitching about it. It's just like, well, we got to get little dwarves dancing around. I don't know if you call it, is it little people is the preferred vernacular?
Yeah, little person.
Nomenclature, I don't know.
Right.
Little person, sure. Please update me. I know one is bad. I don't know if dwarf is bad or not.
I think dwarf is bad.
Is it? I think dwarf is okay because it's midget. That
yeah,
definitely looked down on.
Right.
Because I think that's just a catch-all for all individuals below a certain height. Whereas dwarfism is an actual genetic condition.
Yeah, true. Good point. Yeah.
And that's as much as I know. So let's not act like I'm a fucking, yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, well, you got to be honest with yourself. I'm not going to sit here and bullshit you.
True.
John, I'm a geneticist when I'm not obsessing about basketball movies. I know things.
That's fair.
I know things. I saw a thing once, so all of it. My amp goes to 11. They fucking
the Paul Schaefer stuff where he's like, just kick me in the ass. Just kick me in the ass. All of it. Fran Drescher's hilarious in the movie.
Oh,
the girlfriend stuff.
The girlfriend coming in and basically being the Yoko Ono.
The Yoko.
And changing. Oh, I don't like her. What's his name? The voiceover actor, Harry Shearer.
Yeah.
He's going through the metal detector and he has to pull out a zucchini that's wrapped in tinfoil for some reason. Like that wouldn't set off any metal detector. He's just like, well, whatever.
Yeah.
The cocoon that he gets locked in.
Yeah.
And he finally breaks out as the song just officially ended. Such good, stupid fun. Over and over and over again.
Yeah. It's certainly full of funny moments. I just don't know why don't love it as much as everybody else. But, I'm not a rocker guy. It's just something about it I just don't connect to for whatever reason. So.
Any of that stuff.
Yeah.
Or the real version, History of the World Part 2. The decline of Western civilization. No, Decline of Western Civilization Part 2.
Right.
About hair metal in the 80s.
Yeah.
Dude, I've seen that so many times.
I think it's Penelope Spheris who does the documentary, the woman who directed Fast Times and Clueless. I think
I've never seen Part 1. I've only seen Part 2.
Oh, okay.
I've seen Part 2 like 6 times.
Wow. Is it? It's really that good?
It's a interesting snapshot of the LA hair metal scene from that era.
Okay.
Like there's a dude, he's you remember those old, I'm sure they still have them, but back in the 80s and whatnot, the floating recliner chairs that were like almost woven and they just had styrofoam kind of holding you up.
Yeah.
He's in one of those, like a nicer version of that. And his mom is sitting, it's at night. He's in his pool. His mom is sitting at the patio, pool furniture type of thing with a circular round table and just like an outdoor chair type of thing. And she's sitting there, and he's drunk off his ass, and he's just pouring from a handle of vodka, which is 1.5 liters for our international people. Yeah. And he's just pouring it on himself and drinking some and whatnot and having a conversation with her.
Jesus.
Because she's asking questions off camera, and then it would pan to the mom and ask a question like, how does this make you feel type of thing?
Yeah.
And you're like, this is real. Holy shit. Yeah. And he's just like, decadence. Like, he's not trying to be an asshole, but you are an asshole because you're that over the top.
Right.
And so Spinal Tap is just the comedic version of the absurdity of a rock and roll lifestyle.
Mm-hmm.
What would it be like to tour with Led Zeppelin in their heyday?
Right.
I don't know. We'll have to find out.
Yeah. The lunacy of it all.
Yeah.
Agreed. All right.
So your 2 is my number 1. Go
Reservoir Dogs.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, Quentin Tarantino. What a great debut.
Yeah. Stellar.
Yep.
Your guys was because it was built up to a degree that was never going to reach that, so it's never been in the discussion.
You mean my number 1?
Your number 1.
Yeah, that's fair. But this one is... But Reservoir is...
Well, plus Tarantino thereafter.
Yeah.
Just like, even if I don't like how much the home run he just hit cleared the fence, it's still a home run.
Right.
By and large.
That's a good point.
Yeah. Some of them are grand slams to me. Some of them are monster crush 450, you knocked in 2 runs, and others are like, the left fielder kind of bounced off his glove. Good for you.
Right. But this one's a nice, solid home run.
Oh, to me, this is a grand slam.
Oh, grand slam. Okay, fair. All right.
For our international people, if you don't know baseball references, this is the coup de grace. This is when bases are loaded. It's pinnacle you could do, especially for your first. This is my favorite Tarantino, still is. Even after the newest to the canon, number 9.
Yeah, it's the most runs you can score in one at bat. That's what you say.
True.
Yeah.
And usually we associate it with you won the game.
Yeah, basically. I mean, just how you come out of the gate with a film like this. And yes, it's based on Ringo Lamb's Ring of Fire.
City on Fire.
City on Fire, sorry. City on Fire. But...
Is it with Chow Yun-Fat?
I don't know. I don't remember.
That might be a Schmodown.
I really doubt. They've rarely asked any international questions.
Really?
Yeah.
That seems like a no-brainer just because of the...
It's on purpose. And the cast, you got this great cast of Buscemi and Harvey Keitel and Chris Penn, Lawrence Tierney, Michael Madsen.
Chow Yun-Fat.
Chow Yun-Fat's in it? Okay, cool. But like all you somehow are able to write incredible scenes, incredible lines of dialogue great back and forth that always feel authentic between guys, and then write these random monologues that Tim Roth has to memorize, to get across, to be believable as this crook, as criminal. All of it, and the way it's all constructed, and the way it all goes down, and the way that he's willing, like Keitel is willing to just fight everyone to defend Tim Roth, and then having that twist happen, and his reaction to it, is like, oh my God, all of it is just so good.
It is. I mean, it comes up on a number of shows. I think it was last week's show.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Sting Operations.
Yeah. Well, no, it wasn't.
Came up on my list.
Oh, right,
sure.
because of what's his face, Tim Roth being in it. Yeah.
Yeah, it sets it all up. It's all a big takedown.
You're right.
Yeah, the we didn't talk about like a Virgin monologue.
Great monologue.
The Tarantino. Yeah. That and Pulp, the 2 times where he gave himself lines and the lines work, but I think especially so in Reservoir Dogs.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I can't imagine any other character delivering these lines except for you.
Yeah.
Really impressive on your part. And then kill yourself off. Nice move.
Yeah, right. Smart.
Good. Get yourself out of there.
Hence, like a virgin. Yeah.
All right, you're number 1.
Yeah, Citizen Kane. Considered the greatest film ever made. 23 years old, Orson Welles, 1941. Should have won Best Picture. For some reason, How Green Was My Valley won Best Picture, but this is... What a hell of a debut. I mean, to debut with what is essentially a lot of number
people
one.
Consider as the best movie of all time.
That's incredible to debut with your first one. And some of you, maybe like Matt, you go back and watch it now, you're like, oh, what's the big deal? At the time, people weren't doing what he did in the movie.
Yeah, dolly shots.
Yeah, the dolly shots going through the sign, down into the stuff, the shot from below. You never shot from below on the ground. It never happened until Orson Welles did it in Citizen Kane. Greg Toland took an axe to the set and dug a hole in the dirt under the set that they had built to shoot from up above to catch that scene in the election headquarters after Kane loses the election. All of the stuff that he does here. Plus, it's in essence... a Rashomon story before Rashomon happens in 1950 from Kurosawa. And also, it's Kane, you never get to see Kane's point of view about anything. The film is told through everyone else's remembrances of Charles Foster Kane, but Charles Foster Kane never actually gets to tell his own story. And I think there's just incredible... underlying brilliance to the movie that he never gets to talk about himself. Everyone else, honestly, you could see that movie and go, this is what other people thought he was, but I actually don't know for sure who he is.
Wow.
Because
how
everyone has different experiences.
Himself.
Right. I don't know how he views himself.
Yeah.
But we see how other people view him. Certainly.
We've seen public perception.
Right. We've seen like someone like Bernstein who thinks he can do no wrong, Kane can do no wrong, and then someone like like Joseph Cotton's character, Jedediah Leland, that he can absolutely do wrong and be called out on it. And then you see what the butler witnesses, what his mistress witnesses, what his wife witnesses, all of it, and Thatcher witnesses, all of it is told through flashback and jumping around in time. And it's just so brilliant, and the acting is incredible. The writing is incredible. I don't know. It's still a film I come back to over and over again, Matt, and I don't think it'll ever lose its effect on me, honestly.
There you go.
There it is. All right. Well, that's our separate lists for the top 10 directorial debuts of all time. Now we're going to compile this motherfucker.
All right, you want to write this week?
Yeah, sure.
I'm out of space.
All right. Number 1, I imagine, is Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'd say Shawshank next.
Okay.
And then we don't have anything in common for a while, so it'll probably be then Citizen Kane.
Okay. What do you have next?
My number 2, Spinal Tap.
Okay. This is Spinal Tap.
And that's old Bobby Reiner, Robbo.
Okay.
What's your next highest?
Badlands at number 4.
All right, I got 12 Angry Men at 4. I haven't seen Badlands.
I'm going to give you 12 Angry Men.
Okay.
Yeah. I love that damn movie. All right.
Then Badlands, what does that take us to? Number 6?
Number 5 for me, Get Out.
No, I'm saying, are we at number 6?
We're at number 7.
7, so there's 3 left. What do we have? We have Maltese.
We do have Maltese. It's a little lower down.
Yeah, but I'd say we only have 4 left. We should bump Maltese to 7 then.
Okay.
Because we both have that.
So that puts us at 8. So we have 8, 9, and 10 left.
What's your highest?
Get Out at number 5.
Okay, go with that, and I'll do Caddyshack next at 5.
Okay.
And then, what's your 6?
American Beauty from Sam Mendes.
I got Ex Machina. Now, I will allow a coin flip, but I can't give you that one. I can't be a nice guy. I can't be a gentleman.
You'll allow a coin flip?
Yep.
Oh, you're saying instead of just giving it to me?
Instead of like us going, well, I like your movie. Your movie's good.
Well, here's what I'll say.
I can't do it.
I can put Ex Machina here because I do enjoy the movie. I love the movie. And I understand people's problems with Kevin Spacey and with the whole floating around of the bag. So I don't mind like seceding that situation. Is that how you say it, seceding? Conceding.
Well, seceding would be your Virginia roots trying to leave this show. You son of a bitch. What is this, podcasters' rights?
I can no longer feel like we are represented in this here union.
Foghorn Leghorn showed up.
We will have to
I say.
That boy's more afraid of a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. All right, well, let's do this thing. Do you want to do...
I'm banging and giving you numbers. Give me that falsetto.
Sounds good. The top 10 directorial debuts of all time, yeah.
Number 10.
Ex Machina.
Coming in at number 9.
Caddyshack.
In the 8 spot.
Get Out.
And number 7.
The Maltese Falcon.
Number 6 is...
Badlands.
Starting our top 5.
12 Angry Men.
And numero 4.
This is Spinal Tap.
In the 3rd spot.
Citizen Kane.
Finally, our 2nd.
The Shawshank Redemption.
And our number 1 best directorial debut movie is...
Reservoir Dogs. And that in order is Quentin Tarantino, Frank Darabont, Orson Welles, Rob Reiner, Sidney Lumet, Terrence Malick, John Huston, Jordan Peele, Harold Ramis, and Alex Garland. There you go.
Nice job.
Thank you.
Nice job.
I was like, you're going to fuck this up. You're going to fuck this up.
Did you write the directors down?
No, I just did it from memory.
Good for you.
Yeah, I'm studying. Shimo down.
You got any honorables?
Dude, I have like 40 honorables. But
So
please, go ahead. Please, go ahead.
The one that was fighting with Nightcrawler, there were 2.
Okay.
District 9 and Moon.
Oh, District 9 was certainly something I considered.
I think I have more rewatchability with Moon and Nightcrawler than I do with District 9 at this point.
Okay.
So that's why it's just like, I'm going to exclude District 9. It's really between Nightcrawler and Moon.
Right.
Nightcrawler to me, I think. I don't know.
That's fair.
It's more indelible.
For me, Kiss Kiss Bang Bang for Shane Black.
That was his first?
Yeah. First directorial debut.
I missed that on the list.
Yeah, and Sexy Beast.
And I've got that on the side.
Yeah. I was so close with Sexy Beast.
Ace Ventura. Dumb and Dumber. That's the Farrelly Brothers' first movie.
True.
That to me is amazing. American History X.
Okay.
Christmas Vacation.
Christmas Vacation.
Hoosiers.
Sure. Mm-hmm. Hoosiers, yeah, that's a possibility, sure.
It was, let's see.
I almost put Brana for Henry V.
Oh, okay.
That's a great Shakespeare adaptation. I would
Hunger.
argue he's never done better. Hunger, okay. All right.
Steve McQueen.
All right, fair enough. John Hughes, 16 Candles.
Yeah, no chance.
Yeah.
Mad Max, maybe.
George Miller, yeah, I thought about that one. I was really close, but
Night of the Living Dead, I was like, maybe.
But I like Thunderdome, or I like
yeah, so do I.
The second one better.
Road Warrior.
Yeah, Road Warrior.
Yeah, me too. It's just like, I really go back for this other one.
Did Dance of the Wolves have a chance in your mind?
Okay. No chance.
Okay. What about Tim Burton with Pee-wee's Big Adventure? No?
No.
Okay.
Lock, Stock.
Yeah, that was close for me.
It's like, boom, there's another one. Easy peasy.
If Snatch wasn't better, I would have chosen Lock,
Anchorman.
Stock.
Okay.
I can't imagine I would have ever considered that.
Honestly, Menace to Society, I said earlier.
Yep.
The Head Genuine. I still have a couple others like Deadpool I wrote down, Cabin in the Woods. They never had a shot.
Yeah.
But it's just like, that is a first-time director. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. Mm-hmm. Spider-Man, I said In Bruges, Michael Clayton, Frailty.
Oh, Frailty's good.
Bronx Tale, Man Without a Face.
Oh, yeah. This De Niro, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Took the Palmentary play, one-man play.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a one-man play.
He's doing it again. Oh, I'm sorry. Amy Heckerling, not Penelope Spheres. Amy Heckerling is who directed Fast Times at Ridgemont High. I'm sorry about that. Some people were trying to convince me to put Diner on. Barry Levinson's Diner, but...
It's never...
Yeah. It doesn't resonate with me like it does for other people.
And it's chock full of actors I enjoy thoroughly.
Yeah.
But it's just never been one I really go back to.
Don't disagree. All right, well, thanks everybody for listening to this episode of the Top 10 Show. I considered Michael Bay for Bad Boys too, but it's not enough. We appreciate you all downloading the show every week and listening to the show every week and retweeting it, as Matt and I keep asking you to do.
Every time you do, look, it just helps us, maybe potentially spark up someone else's feed that's never listened to the show, or the topic catches their eye and they're willing to jump on board, and we grab one new listener. We're all in this together, guys. We build the society that we would like to see, and with your help, we can build a utopia. Wow. And I think we can. Trust me, the Kool-Aid is going to taste so good, so good,
so good.
You want extra sugar? There's extra sugar. You like a little bit, more watery? Not a problem. This is a flexible Kool-Aid.
Fair.
We fit all tastes.
Yeah, definitely. Matt told you about where you can engage in the conversation on Facebook. You can also, if you want to be a patron of the Top 10 Show, you can go to www.patreon.com/the-top10 there. And see the multiple tiers we have there. You want to be part of Topic Thunder, that's where you find out about that. If you want to be part of any of the other shows, bonus content we do, it's all there. And, if you want to be part of the new thing that we've added, which is one video of one episode every month will go up. It's only available to the $20 and above patrons. So if you want to get in on that action, see our pretty faces, as well as a random guest, if they're on for that week, talking about our top 10 lists or counting them down in person on live. I mean, so not live, but on camera, you can do that as well.
Yeah, and we look to be doing that once a month if we can help it. Hopefully,
if we can help it, yeah.
Hypothetically, maybe we even get it up to like twice a month.
Oh, my God.
Who knows? We're working on things.
Yeah, we are.
There's a little bit of flux in the office, with one dude just systematically leaving and throwing a wrench in everybody else's life. How dare he?
Yeah, that's true.
How dare he?
That's true.
I let him know my feelings upon his departure today.
Yeah.
This kid better be fucking worth it. Specifically what I said. I couldn't do fantasy this year because of your stinking baby.
And now that it got delayed, he's going to be here working another week, which means we could have had the draft next week.
Yeah, he said that they're inducing.
Yeah, they're inducing.
Middle of this week.
Craziness. All right. Follow
me at Matt Nost.
Yep. Follow me at The Roca Says. And we'll talk to you next time for another episode of the Top 10 Show.